What's good? It's your boy Fanon. And I swear, nobody is going to believe me when I say this. But I really said, today is the day that I will not make an Eddie Hearn lies about something video. Because I went down my timeline. I was like, I've really focused on Eddie Hearn telling stories enough. I think the point has been driven home, right? But then just when I think I'm out, he drags me back in with another whopper. This guy lies so much and so freely that at this point in time, it is just becoming. Comedy was probably the best way, but it's like just watching the clock like it's 2:00. He hasn't lied yet. So let me tell you what the newest one is. Before I do that, though, I'm definitely going to have a live stream about this. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon. And that way you can know when the live stream happens. We're going to talk about the welterweight division in the next live stream. We'll also cover a little bit about the heavyweight division because we're moving into the month of May. And there's some good welterweight. There's a good welterweight fight happening in June. We have a fight that's not worth a whole lot coming up this Friday, but that's kind of the direction of the subjects we want to start taking up in the live stream. That and other issues. So I hope you accept my invitation to attend. Also, thank you to everybody that donates in the super chat and helps support the cause that this channel supports. Also, the Venmo and the Patreons. Thank you so much. Now, on to this. Eddie Hearn. Some news came out yesterday by Boxing Scene that Eddie Hearn, and it said in the sentence, it said in the description by Boxing, it said apparently they have shown proof of the money to Eddie Hearn. And different media outlets said that the money that Eddie Hearn had been shown proof of the funds, right? So the fact that, and I've always maintained the fact that anybody would even doubt that these funds were available because it was Al Heyman and Shelley Finkel that were behind it. And despite other people's interest in acting as if Deontay Wilder is going to write his personal check for $50 million for it. The fact that a guy that just did a $500 million fight last August would have and raised $500 million in venture capital funds to support to form the PBC wouldn't be able to make an argument to a bank to get $50 million in escrow or in some other kind of way to prove that the funds are secured is just ridiculous on its face, right? But how many? Now, before I tell you the lie he told, how many channels, how many people said that they needed to see proof of the funds? It would be stupid for anybody to believe that a fight like that should be made without proof of funds. That if Deontay Wilder and Al Heyman had $50 million, that Eddie Hearn would be stupid. And of course, you would show proof of funds for $50 million. Isn't that what they've said? Time and time again, right? Where one side was saying the $50 million is there. Why would you doubt that $50 million is there with Al Heyman, right? Why would you doubt it? Oh, that's ridiculous. Where does this guy get? He only makes $1.2 million. Where would he get $50 million from? He didn't show the proof, right? Isn't that what everybody said? And why did they say it? Because Eddie Hearn, right? Before I tell you the lie, what might be in the title, but before I tell you the lie, didn't he say that? Didn't he say, where's this? Before we make this fight, we need to make sure that the money's there. That we don't need to be running around wondering where you're going to get this money from. And then if those funds are real, if those funds are secured and I can see them, then maybe. Isn't that what Eddie Hearn said? Isn't that what led the whole discussion? Yes, it was. So what did Eddie Hearn say after reporting? And he kind of fronted out a specific boxing channel that talked about it, right? And he said, I don't know where they get this from. Shelley Finkel never showed us proof of funds. We never asked for proof of funds. He said in 7 minutes and 9 seconds of the video that I will attach, the IFL video that I will attach to this video, he says that Shelly Finkel never showed him proof because they never asked for proof of the funds. We never asked for proof of the funds. So when I and other people did videos about the fact that that it was reported that Shelly Finkel, that they had shown him proof of funds, and everybody's like, how is he gonna come back from this one? How is he gonna come back from this one? I thought to myself, yeah, how is he going to? What lie is he going to tell about this? Because of course, nobody that does a video on YouTube, very few, I can't believe, would actually be party to the manner in which it was proven, the timing of it was proven. You're making a report on what you're sharing what the media reports, right? So I'm thinking to myself, yeah, what could he do? So what he does is he just claims that he never asked for it. It's no longer an issue, right? So the things move on as if it's not important anymore, because is he still asking for it? No. Notice this. He's not asking for proof of funds anymore. He just has 6 or 7 simple questions that he wants answers to. That's where it is now. But he doesn't know where anybody got that they showed him proof of funds because he never asked for proof of funds. Now, do you live in the Milky Way? Do you live in the same universe that I live in? I know I heard Eddie Hearn say that how is he supposed to believe where this money is coming from? If he's got that type of money, show me the proof of the money. That's what he said. That's what he said. That's what made Shelly Finkel send him a note that said, you and I both know that that we are good on our funds. And that you can, and if you just accept this, then we'll show you the funds. You know that's how that works. That's how big fights work. Shelly Finkel responded to something Eddie Hearn had said. That's why the whole subject of showing the funds is even brought up. Nobody else, I've been covering boxing. You never hear people talk about really show me the funds. Oh, Floyd Mayweather said that, he's going to make, Showtime says that they're going to give guarantee Floyd Mayweather $200 million over 6 or 8 fights. Did they show him the money? Did they put it in escrow? When have you ever heard that conversation before? The only reason that anybody brought up the subject of showing the $50 million is because Eddie Hearn said he didn't believe they had it and that he needed to see it. But now, he never asked for it. In the words of Coach Sheldon Harris, how are you going to explain that, man? How are you going to explain that? And this is what these guys are going to... Now here I'm talking to the UK fans. Come on now. To you guys, I know you watch my videos. I know you do. Okay? When you come out with your videos that say no proof of funds, understand that after Eddie Hearn denies that they showed him proof of funds, that he claimed that he never asked for them. Are you going to now say that Eddie Hearn never asked for proof of funds? Did he? Did Eddie Hearn ever, implicitly or explicitly, say outright or imply, and imply really, that he needed proof of the funds? Of course he did. Of course he did. But they never asked for it. And note that he didn't say, show me the whole contract either. He said, answer these 6 or 7 questions, and if they are answered to our satisfaction, then we can proceed to the contract. What happened to needing the proof of the $50 million? Why would the Boxing Voice even be making a video about the firms, the fight, the money having been confirmed? Eddie Hearn is without a doubt the lionest promoter I have ever heard of. I'm not saying stealing. I'm saying lying. How could he get that out of his mouth? Now, if you guys come, show me the proof that Eddie Hearn ever asked for guarantees. Every time you guys believe Eddie Hearn, he traps you. You can't believe him, man. And here's my thing. I catch him lying on a regular basis. So why would I believe him when he says, what credibility does he have when he says that he wasn't shown proof of funds? I tend to believe he saw the money. Because now he's acting like it's not a problem. Because it's no longer a problem. No, the money's not a problem. Of course, no. The money's not a problem. We never thought the money was a problem. We never asked for proof of the funds. That's why the money's not an issue anymore. It's not that they didn't show it to me. They never showed me the money because I never asked them to show me the money. That's why we're moving. That's why we're past that. It's not that they showed me the money because I never asked for the money. That's what he said. That's what his stance is. And you're supposed to believe him when you know full well that and the proof of it is all the comments, all the videos, all the statements in the media were people who were standing up for Eddie Hearn and supporting what Eddie Hearn had to say. All of them saying that Eddie Hearn would be stupid to do that without seeing the money and knowing the money is there. Right? But all of a sudden, he never asked for proof. That's how he gets past them having shown it. You gotta be kidding me, people. You gotta be kidding me. This from the same guy. This is the same guy who said that nobody from Wilder's camp had ever reached out to him. Well, if they want to make the fight, remember back in January when he said, if they say they want this fight, they're not real about this fight. They never contacted me about the fight. What happens then? Shelly Finkel comes out with an email and says, look, we talked in November. And then all of a sudden it's like, yeah, we did talk in November. Oh, okay, let me get this right, Eddie. You didn't talk? Did you or did you not talk in November? You either lying then or you're lying now, or you got really bad, shady memory. I guess that's the other option, that he's got bad memory. But this one, even more than the proof having been shown, now that he had his 24 hours to come up with however he's going to save face off of that. Because remember what he was trying to save face from. Where is this dude from Alabama going to get this money from? This is just some guy in Alabama saying he's got this money. Isn't that what he said? Some guy from Alabama? As if he didn't know who Al Heyman was? And as if he didn't know who Shelly Finkel was? Isn't that what he said? But then again, maybe he didn't say that, right? Now he's just, I guess in Eddie's world, he can just say that he never said that. And I'm waiting for you guys to believe it. Even the people that came on my page and said, no proof of funds, show me the proof of funds. Even now that you have that soundbite from Eddie Hearn, because you're going to believe it, right? You're just going to take what Eddie Hearn says and run with it, that he wasn't actually shown it. Now, let me tell you, my stance is the fact that Eddie Hearn says that that it wasn't shown to him, to me means nothing. Because he lies. He's proven over and over again that you can't believe what comes out of his mouth. I didn't need proof that Al Heyman could come up with $50 million. Common sense would tell you that Al Heyman can come up with $50 million. Al Heyman is not about to bring Anthony Joshua over to Showtime, over to the United States, or send Deontay Wilder over to the UK, do a pay-per-view event, and do all that and not show up with the money. His whole professional career would be he would be throwing away his whole professional reputation for doing something like that. Of course, Al Heyman would show up with that money. Of course, he has the ability to to secure that money and prove that money. If he didn't, he would have never offered it, because he would lose a lot more than he would ever gain by pulling a stunt like that. So do I believe that Eddie Hearn ever really believed that he needed proof of funds? No, I do not. I don't believe for an instant that Barry Hearn or Eddie Hearn ever doubted that Deontay Wilder's team, the business entities that stand to gain from the fight, like CBS Sports, who owns Showtime, Al Heyman and the PBC, and Shelley Finkel, as if Shelley Finkel would ever do something when his whole career is built off managing boxers, as if he would ever do something, or it's likely that he would do something like that that would totally ruin his reputation with boxers. I know, and anybody that used their brain for 2 seconds knew that Al Heyman would be, if he made that offer, that Al Heyman is serious about that offer and would stand behind that offer. And so did Eddie Hearn. So Eddie Hearn, all of a sudden, the money's not an issue, right? This is what I'm saying. You can sit this dude down. This is why guys like this, people think lawyers are bad deals or trial lawyers are bad guys. Sit Eddie Hearn and put his hand on a Bible at risk of contempt of court and have him tell these lies. He would get the truth real quick. Eddie, are you telling me that you've never asked for proof of funds? Yes or no? Yes, I have. Now, did they show you it? You don't even have to know whether they showed them or not. You don't even have to know whether they showed them or not, because it's not a problem anymore. He's not saying notice he didn't say that he's still waiting on the funds to be proven, right? He's not waiting anymore. Now the money's not an issue. Well, if the money was an issue and now it's not an issue, why isn't it an issue anymore? Did you just take them at their word all of a sudden? Just say, hey, I got off Al Heyman called me and, tell a little bit of the truth. Say, Al Heyman called me and assured me that the money was there. And I believe Al Heyman. Maybe that's what's happened. Maybe that's what happened. That could be something that sounds a little bit more towards the truth. But then you'd have to say, yes, I publicly expressed doubt that they could come up with the money. And I said that they needed to show me proof of the money before I could accept any terms. I had a conversation with Al Heyman, and he convinced me that the money was there, either by showing me a receipt, either by showing me some receipt where he had it in escrow, or he gave me some type of guarantee that the money would be there if we move forward. But to claim that you never asked them for the money, you never asked them for the proof, that's a lie. And anybody and everybody that has paid any attention to this knows that's a lie. But since he's a pathological liar, and he probably doesn't even know how to do something, it seems like Eddie Hearn doesn't even know when it's okay to tell the truth. Hey, I was on, I asked for the funds. And no, they didn't show it to me in escrow. They didn't show me the actual money in a bank. What I did is I talked to Al Heyman. And Al Heyman explained to me where the funding was coming from. And he explained it to me to my satisfaction and to Anthony Joshua's satisfaction. And we're okay with it. And now we can move forward. But the dude lies so much that he probably can't even do that. It's just ridiculous. Now, I don't believe he wants to fight. And I know what the 7 questions, Who knows what those questions are going to be? Maybe that's just 7 opportunities for him to say no. I don't know. But anyway, for the people that are going to say that there was no proof of the funds and you take Eddie Hearn at his word, you're going to have to then believe the second part of that, which is that Eddie Hearn never asked for the proof of funds. And you know, and I know, and everybody else knows that he did. So the second part of that's a lie. So at the very least, he either lied about there not being any proof of funds, and he definitely lied about never having asked for it. And with that, I'm out. Peace.